Should be on. Looking at a steady 60 FPS. Oh, governor, let's rock and roll.
All right, I'm just gonna start talking, assuming that stream is going.
Okay. Welcome to PMA LCS Week 4, the Salami Wood versus Little Shop of Hoagies. I'm Mr. Sturcha, and with me I have a lovely and experienced co-caster of...
It is Alex Gunji Kurtz, and pretty exciting Week 4 matchup here. TSL coming in 3-1, and LSH coming in looking for their first win on the season. We've had draft already started. We see TSL banning away the Lux and the Zyra, and we see a Tristana and a Cassidy ban on the other side from LSH. Overall, everything looking pretty standard thus far. They are playing with Bacon Wrap as the sub for the ADC, so that Tristana ban is directed towards him, as we're waiting on the last ban to come in here for TSL on this first round, first rotation. But yeah, we see the Gnar ban come through there. It's the last ban on the blue side, directed towards Guy Fieric in that top lane. And yeah, so far everything pretty standard. Anything that's sticking out to you? As we just see the Belveth is actually linked. I do believe Lux ban kind of pushed towards Panda there. I do believe as a pretty standard play, and we see the Seraphine lock in on B1. Seraphine, I mean, I'm sure everyone's heard it by now. I mean, this champ is just turbo broken.
Heal, damage, burst, roots.
Yeah,
charm.
It literally has everything you want. We're gonna see Kate Morgana locked in on the other side, R1, R2 from LSH. Caitlyn Morgana, very traditional bot lane combo there. Morgana hits the bind, and then Caitlyn traps, and that person basically is just deleted from existence. Very strong 2v2 bot lane here. We'll see what they decide to respond with. And it is going to be a Jinx here locked in for the side of TS. Well, not locked in just yet, so still hovering around, see if anything else changes. Senna's still up as well. Very strong champion right now in the meta. But it is going to be that Jinx, so a little bit of hyper carry action going on there for the side of TSL. And we'll have those shields from the Seraphine to back it up. See what they decide to go with on B3. Probably a jungle pick here, if I had to guess. Volibear. Yeah, Volibear still up. Wukong not quite as strong, being nerfed on this patch, but still a potential pick as well. But we are going to see, looks like a Mumu actually going to come through, so we're going to see just a lot more CC layering and kind of setting up those standard 5v5 team fights there so that Jinx can pop off.
I'm a fan of the pick. I'm a fan of the Mumu. I'm a fan of the tankiness. I'm a fan of the layered CC from Seraphine into the Amumu, making sure they don't play for 5 seconds. I'm sure LSH is going to love that with just one Morgana Black Shield.
Yeah, you can only Black Shield one thing, as we see the Trundle locked in here on R3. So trying to just basically subjugate that Amumu whenever it goes in, lose all the stats, and try to blow up the front line as fast as possible. So decent response.
Basically, I'm saying 2 poke comps thus far. Would you agree?
For the most part. I mean, Jinx pretty decent range on the autos. Caitlyn decent long range on the autos. Morgana has ability to get through the range. We'll have to see how the rest of the comps round out. We do see an Aurelia ban get locked in there, as we see Galio responded there. So Galio, another ban towards Panda there. As see what else is going to be banned. We're going to see the brand taken away from TSL. TSL sitting with a lot of AP right now, that Amumu and that Seraphine. So
yeah, so we're looking more towards AD, top lane, mid lane, which is important. That I think Little Shop of Hoagies took away that Aurelia.
And we do see the Vel'Koz ban going through here for TSL. So Panda's actually played that 3 games so far in this season. So definitely just another ban, just targeting Panda there, just trying to get him off comfort as much as possible. And I mean, Vel'Koz with the range that they already have with Caitlyn Morgana.
Malphite dive.
Yeah, we do see the Rock locked in. just trying to threaten that Jinx as much as possible. Malphite, though, very, very strong into heavy AD teams, so maybe they're just thinking that, okay, if you have the Seraphine, they have the Amumu, they're going to look more towards AD champions here, so we're going to lock in the Malphite preemptively. But now they have the Mundo hover right here, which would be pretty good. Just run through all the CC. They have, it does, it's a little unfortunate with this Trundle subjugate, but you can only subjugate one thing, and with a Mundo and a Amumu, you kind of have to take your pick. Most of the time, it is going to be the Mundo as he tries to run at your backline, but that should open things up for Syracuse here on this Amumu as we wait for their last pick to come through here.
Probably another kind of... Oh.
And we do see the Lilia locked in here. So this is actually maybe an Amumu support potentially coming through. I could see the Seraphine mid and then just have Mundo Lilia. Definitely, but it's pretty flexible. You could see a lot of these champions go to a lot of different locations. And once again, more AP. Like I said, Malphite really, really good against heavy AD teams. And with all this AP, Malphite not going to have as much value other than just being able to potentially hit the Jinx. And we're going to see Nautilus come through here for the side of LSH. So
we're going to have Morgana mid.
It's going to be a Morgana in the mid lane here, and then the Kate Nautilus in the bot side. Kate Nautilus, pretty okay. The problem is the trap takes a little bit of time to arm, so if you get the Nautilus passive auto stun off, it is not quite enough time for the trap to fully set. So it can be a little tricky. Nautilus, the hook, also pulls them back, so you have to just be aware of that whenever you're setting up those Caitlyn traps. But definitely a decent amount of kill pressure there in the bot side, especially if this Jinx, for instance, does not have flash, has to burn early. Can potentially see some swings happening there on that side. But for the most part, pretty standard team fight stuff. I say we have Amumu R, we have Malphite R, Nautilus abilities, Seraphine R. It's just going to be who can team fight better in this game. And if this game goes even and there's not a big swing here in lane phase, this could get very interesting.
I 100% agree. I also noticed the AP heavy Salami wood. And so I think Little Shop of Hoagie's team building or item building definitely going to lean more towards that MR tenacity side.
Indeed. And that'll actually open things up for double bacon wrap here on this Jinx. If everyone's going to be building Merc Treads and trying to make sure that they can stave off all this AP damage that they have coming through, that should open up ability that many people aren't going to build Steel Caps. So this Trundle will probably go Merc Treads, the Malphite will probably go Mercs. Nautilus support could be, you could build into a couple different boots, but should give the Jinx a little bit more value. All right, so we're getting ready.
Right. We're getting ready to enter the loading screen, in which case we'll still have another 3 minutes to talk about these comps. What team would you choose if you were the team manager?
I mean, personally, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards the side of TSL. I think this Mundo is going to be really difficult to deal with, given the comp that they have. Your Malphite's going to be trying to go on this Jinx Seraphine, like, basically all the time. Or just pulling the trigger basically whenever a pick exists, and because of that, you're gonna have to deal with a Amumu and then Mundo then going onto your team. Like I said, Trundle can only subjugate one of those, and Nautilus is a much better engage support than he is a peel support. So it's gonna be a little tough for, I think, LSH, especially if this Mundo gets really, really strong, to actually stop him from just being an absolute menace throughout team fights and wherever he may go, because Mundo does go where he pleases.
I 100% agree. I think we have some really hard engage on LSH, and a problem that they're going to see is the fact that Caitlyn's going to be sort of exposed with the fact that Morgana R is in my opinion, a worse Amumu R, in the fact that it has build-up time, and then also the fact that you're going to have Malphite in their backline surrounded by a team with heavy burst. You're going to have a Nautilus that can be shot down or charmed. It's a very much run-at-him team, and Seraphine ult is going to maybe make a mockery of that.
And another thing, like, Seraphine is also going to make that Jinx much harder to kill, like, straight up with that burst. I mean, you basically, with the team comp that LSH have lined up, you basically have to land almost everything. You have to make sure Caitlyn's getting full damage off. You have to make sure Morgana's getting that full damage off on that Jinx for it to blow up, because if it's just Malphite ulting on the back, even a full AP Malphite, if Seraphine's shielding and keeping that Jinx alive properly, the Jinx will never die. So it's going to be really, really tough. I think a big thing for LSH is they need to make sure that they're tracking that Jinx flash cooldown and trying to set that lane behind as much as possible. If the Jinx falls behind, and Caitlyn can really snowball that lane, start taking tower plates, and then rotate to another lane where they can start pushing that advantage elsewhere, and kind of move past that weakish mid game that Caitlyn tends to have. I think that's probably their best win con, but they have to set this Jinx behind.
So I'm just gonna set back to the waiting image real quickly because I want to check back on Twitch. So, hey Landon, AP champs press a movement equals true damage champs, and then Bacon hit with a high. Hi, Bacon. So, going through our pick and lock-in phase. Got that wonderful, exciting couple minutes, calm before the storm. Now, let's talk how these teams have been doing thus far in this split. The Salami Mid has been, I think they're 1 win, 2 ties.
TSL, I do believe is, unless I was looking at it wrong, 3-1. I do believe. Yeah, TSL currently 3-1. LSH is 0-4 at the moment.
So, thus far we still have week 2 stats of just LSH still looking for its footing, TSL testing the waters but finding their metal proved.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't realize, I forgot that an actual donut or Spooked is subbing in for LSH right now. He is a Morgana jungle advocate. So it's not impossible that is going jungle. We'll see where things swap up, but
it's been a hot patch since I've seen a Morgana jungle.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. But we'll see. I still think it's probably Trundle. But we'll see how things shake up here. So Nautilus is going to be connecting here, so they have until 20 seconds to swap things around. So then we'll see where things actually end up going. But it is going to be, looks like that Amumu support from Squints, like we talked about. So a nice use of flex picks there on the blue side there for TSL in draft, and see some things moved around. Yeah, let's see. Syracuse swapping to Seraphine. Probably not playing Seraphine, unless he knows some spicy tech that I don't. But we shall see. Unless it's Cruz mid lane in my A jungle.
That's what I think it is.
I mean, it's past 20 seconds, so that's what it is. And it is going to be Spook on the Trundle. So we're actually going to see Maie in the jungle here, and we're going to see, looks like Cruz in the mid lane, more than likely. Or it could be... No, that's too crazy. That's too crazy. I'm in my own head. I'm in my own head right now. So many different ways.
Get out of there. We have a game.
Get out of there. So many different things that this could possibly be. And now we have the good old 3-minute delay. So it is going to be Syracuse on Seraphine. The double Sarah. Sarah squared.
Sarah squared. Sarah Kerrigan?
Maybe.
Am I in the wrong company for esports?
Maybe. CS? Hello?
CS? That means,
I am Katowice? Is it time?
That is, workers made per minute, right?
Yes, it is. Of course, of course.
I'm hoping they construct additional pylons in River.
Uh, spike plant. Spike plants are going to be very important in this game.
Oh man, the blast cones. I'm gonna be laughing if I see Mundo try to blast cone with his shield on.
Hail is old as time, honestly.
Honestly.
But we've all been there.
We've all been there.
Don't act like you haven't done it.
I've done it. I've done it, and I have laughed at myself for it.
You know, when you do things like that in game, you just kind of have to laugh at yourself a little bit. There's nothing else you can do. You just kind of have to be like, "Yep, all right, I did that."
This is me.
This is me. Listen, none of us here are pros. We're here to have a good time.
We are here to have a good time. This is the PMA LCS, and we're here to see some fraternal clashing.
It's all about that fraternal clashing. Not clash, though. That's different.
Not clash.
Not clash.
Which we'll probably see via Skin Fashion Tech. Here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly.
I don't know. I've always been on for 2 hours with these streams, so what's your long time for? Are we talking relationship or are we talking stream? Because, man,
these are the hard-hitting questions. All right, 30 seconds until we load into Summoner's Rift here.
Mm-hmm.
Any final takes before we load into game?
Sriracha should be put on chocolate bars.
You know, I am a big fan of spice and chocolate. I don't know about sriracha on chocolate bars, but like if you get like dark chocolate with like peppers, like some like guajillo in there, that's that good. That's that good.
Now that's advanced culinary tech.
True.
Okay, folks. Let's have the business. Got here. Do the game. Loading.
All right. As we load in, let's take a look at the skin game here. The most important part of PMA LCS. And I see Pool Party Caitlyn, so I'm automatically biased.
Okay, that's P.
All right, my game is at a. My game is at a black screen.
Yeah,
it's not loaded.
It's that funny thing.
All right, I'm gonna exit out and then spectate. Just click one of the people to spectate, and hop back in. This happens to me all the time.
You have to click a P. Let me fix stream resolution real quickly, because it seems that I have this lovely issue again. Why is this?
An El Clasico, honestly.
Bam. Then I have.
And there we go.
Okay. So, I have it paused at 7 seconds. You have it paused at 10?
It loaded me in at 15, so just...
It loaded you in at 15, okay. I'm paused at 15.
Alright.
So...
3, 2, 1, go. Alright, and we're into Summoner's Rift now. We're gonna see TSL on the blue side, LSH on the red. So we see what looks to be a potential invade, but it looks like Sarah Cruz probably going to spot it out. Zepho going to flash forward and land the hook onto Cruz. But I don't think they have the damage to actually kill it. Dark Binding is going to miss from the Morgana, and Sarah Cruz will just walk away holding that flash. So Nautilus not going to have that up for the next 5 minutes. So a nice little small win there for TSL.
Here's my help. It should be there. Should be there. I gotta fix my FPS again.
We are going to see Malphite ward their own red buff just to spot out any potential shenanigans here from TSL.
Okay, excuse me, folks. Apparently the image overlay isn't working, so you're gonna get a lovely look at the camera and Fog of War and all the other tech. All right. So, also
Pretty standard stuff so far. We're gonna see Swoop start on the blue side. Well, Maie also starts on blue, so both junglers starting blue side as we get into the early lane phase here.
now, Greg Boy, known Mundo player, near perfect CSing, getting the procs. We're looking at a bronze elo versus gold. So we'll see where that lies. Personally, I love Greg. He's my widow.
Yeah, Sarah Cruz going to get hit with the binding. We're going to see Squints hit level 2 here with double bacon wrap first. Zepho going to hook away to safety, so no real kill threat coming through there. But yeah, the Nautilus not having flash should affect early lane phase a little bit here. And should relieve some of the pressure this lane has in terms of kill pressure. As Howard getting pretty low here. Greg Boy could potentially look here for a play. Minion wave just a little too large. They're going to try to trend that down first. Howard does step up, though, and Greg Boy's just going to run at them. Flash auto doesn't go through, cancels the auto, and it's not going to land the kill. If that auto does go through, I do think he does get the kill, but the cancellation of that there is going to prevent the death coming through.
Why is he still up there? Let me fix mine. Oh, for a quick second. Let's get that there. Let's get that there. That's all in line. So thanks to the little shop of hoagies for putting themselves in order.
We're going to see.
Okay.
Greg Boy does have to push up for this lane. Howard's just going to walk through. If Greg Boy fights in the minion wave, he could potentially get a trade here.
No, he's going to get run down.
Yeah, Greg Boy just going to get run down. Actually, I do think he had about 8 minions or so sitting there. If he would have stayed in that minion wave and just tried to fight back, I do think he actually trades 1 for 1 there. But just decides to try to run away, and then having no flash from that earlier exchange with Howard means that an actual donut able to run it down and get first blood. So good start so far for LSH. They're able to punish that early flash usage. But Maie is down here on the bot side, so we'll see if anything comes of this. The wave is pushing into Squints and double bacon wrap as well. So Hoagie and Zepho in a rough spot, but they do ward out and spot Maie. So Lilia just gonna prance her way on up the river, but now Squints going back in. Super Hoagie 90 caliber net going to use that to get away. Does get hit with the zap, but no kill pressure coming through. Sarah Cruz now looking potentially with onto Fleeing Panda. The black shield is going to come through, and Maie just going to do a little bit of damage, but they're going to walk away. But Spooked is here now. It takes us back to boss eye something with directed camera. I'm just going to go back. Actual donut getting taken very low now, and is going to back away. Fleeing Panda is going to get rooted up here. Swirl Seat is going to come through, but I don't think the burn is quite enough at this point. Pot also popped, and Panda will stay alive. Well, we'll lose most of this minion wave here, going under tower, even despite having teleport. So overall, a win, small win there for TSL.
And starting to see early back, starting to see early rotations. Aggressive jungling thus far. Love to see it. And maybe we're hitting some simple farming. First dragon is up. We have a lot of vision top river for Widow Shop of Hoagies.
Yeah, this whole river is just lit up right now. The one ward is going to expire here in Pixel in just a second. Um, they will
Yep,
be
there
able to
goes
spot
one.
anything that goes up there. And they do have that control ward in place, too, just in case they decide to go for a wraparound gank. Looks like we're going to see another play mid lane. Bandage Toss is going to land on a Panda with the Black Shield, going to prevent the stun from happening. But there's just too much CC in the process. Sarah Cruz is going to pick up that kill with the help of his teammates. And it's another kill on the board for TSL.
And that's going to be Dragon. For the most part, maybe? No? No? Okay, I'm wrong.
Yep.
Bacon Wrap just starting to poke out Zepho. Getting some pressure. Zones off with the mines.
Yeah, they decided not to go for Dragon there. Probably because of Zepho and Hoagie having the push advantage there. So double Bacon Wrap and Squints have to go back down there to fix that. But double Bacon Wrap now going to go on to Zepho with Squints landing those Bandage Toss. Not going to get a kill just yet. Zepho did have Flash as well, so no real danger. But now with the health bars chunk, now they can start to look for that Dragon. They're already starting to move up, try to clear away some of these wards. No, it looks like they're just going to place it. We do have Maie down here on the bot side taking these Krugs, so could potentially see a play here. As soon as they rotate up, this bot lane should be pushed in, and they can potentially look for something. They have mid push as well, with Seraphine also hitting 6 as well as Panda, so that huge team fight ability now online here for TSL. And now we're going to see them move up towards this Dragon.
Top lane, we have some wave management on both sides. Power pushing it, and Greg Boy trying to hold it at the cost of some HP. In a long-term sustainability, Mundo does have the advantage, but the poke from Malphite is starting to get there. Is he gonna not get that minion? Thank you.
Yeah, we see a little bit another skirmish here on the bot side. Zepho actually going to get chain rooted here, but a really nice trap there from Hoagie is actually going to prevent double Bacon Rat from throwing in those last couple autos to finish off Zepho. Ignite was used for the Nautilus as well, so we're not going to see. So that Summoner spell will be down for the next big fight / skirmish. As Bacon Wrap just walking forward, and is going to kill off Zepho, just not respecting the damage that Jinx can throw down there with that ult. And yeah, it's going to be a kill going over to this Jinx now 2-0 here. And this gets really scary for LSH for the reasons that we talked about in pregame. With the Jinx being ahead, it's going to be really hard to kill, especially with that Seraphine in the backline. However, LSH will be able to rotate up and get the Dragon, knowing that Squints isn't around since that was a 1v2, that double Bacon Wrap win. So a little consolation prize for them, and they are going to pick up the mountain.
That, and they had some excellent deep vision in that top side blue jungle, so that they knew Maie was not towards Dragon. They are, however, going to pick up Herald, which definitely going to be used to get a financial lead somewhere. Probably mid, it would be my guess, is we really want to just focus back that control and really lend up Seraphine to be able to roam.
Yeah, could potentially look bot lane as well with it if they want to continue to snowball this Jinx ahead. Jinx still does have heal and flash, so in a pretty decent spot right now. So basically no real pressure, I'd say, of dying, especially without the ignite on Zepho.
Especially if Squints hits this level 6, which I...
Yeah. Bandage Toss does come through, the root comes through, but it is buffered very nicely by Zepho, so not going to have any threat there. 90 caliber net does stop Squints for a second, but no kill pressure for them either, so not that big of a deal.
Nice dodge.
Pressure just going to continue to push out here. We'll see what Maie decides to do here with this Rift Herald coming up. But it looks like just going to go bot side, take those camps that have all respawned on the bot side, and go from there. Seraphine taking a reset right now as well. Has those finished Lucidity boots, so that'll help with getting those abilities a little bit faster.
There we go. Get those Qs out, Mundo. Get those Qs out. Hurl those cleavers.
More and more trading. As this goes longer, it's going to be a lot harder for Malphite to really do anything in this lane. Mundo should be able to just beat him at 1v1 at any given point. But we do see an actual donut up here with double buffs. Could potentially look for a gank here if this Mundo oversteps.
Would be very surprised at this rate, considering, all in one, you want to be careful with that top lane. Especially with the fact that bot lane is now noticeably ungankable, I would say, with the root. He's going in, gets rid of the Mundo passive.
Oh, bandage toss and ulti gonna drop, and the Jinx ulti is gonna come through and finish up that kill onto Zepho. Really nice chain of abilities there from Squints and double bacon wrap. And now we're gonna see a potential dive in the top side, but Mundo ult just gonna be popped, and he's just gonna simply fend it off. So TSL getting a kill on the bot side, and nothing really happening on the top side for LSH in return. So TSL just kind of winning across the map right now.
Yep, and as chat has noticed, we're seeing some CS difference in mid lane and bot lane. Seraphine's a monster in wave management and destruction. I absolutely love when double Q is up and you see just a wave melt. Such a satisfying effect. Now, we're also seeing...
Ooh, we're going to see a little bit of a fight here. So some supportal combat here. Squints versus F. As Syracuse now getting potentially collapsed on, but is going to flash away from that dark binding. Panda actually getting really low. Going to have to flash away in response as well. Nothing happening other than a trade of flashes.
Now, in my head, I had the point of why not R, but we didn't... Syracuse was expert enough to see that if he even did use the charm, there wasn't anyone to really capitalize on it. Lilia was still about half a lane's distance out, along with Squints as support. Now we're seeing the dance mid.
We're gonna see some focus now move down to the bot side. Dragon up in about 50 seconds, so we're gonna see teams try to get some vision control around this next objective here. Looks like it will be a Cloud Drake coming up, so the one that not everyone really enjoys. The Swirl Seed does land on the Hoagie. We'll see if they actually decide to go in on this, but a TP from Malphite gonna come through. Herald gonna be dropped. Naya gonna pick up those plates. And it looks like they're just gonna attempt a recall in this bush, but maybe bait some things out here. Double Bacon Wrap does have flash as well, so if the Malphite does go on, if the Jinx has fast enough reaction time, can actually flash away from that. And Seraphine kind of left alone here, so we're going to see Fleeing Panda TP in here onto mid tower. So LSH really spending all of their summoner spells here to try to get this dragon. And honestly, it looks like TSL is pretty okay with just giving it over to them. It's a Cloud Drake. They're not really too concerned about trying to take this. Squints is hovering around, so maybe looking for an exit pick, as Jinx is going to take the first tower in response. Really good trade there from TSL. So the Jinx ult does come through, and Bacon Wrap just going to walk away, use those chompers to zone them off. And honestly, TSL pretty fine with taking that trade. This whole time, Mundo has just been pushing top lane as well. So they're just kind of trading that Cloud Drake instead of trying to like coin flip a fight for just full control of this map. It's play I really, really like.
Definitely supporting the fact of playing the long con. I especially like the fact that they're saying we can sit in the lanes, take first tower, bring up top again to be mostly equal in cash.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're looking at the game state right now, too, like, they're just in such a good spot. Caitlyn is a champion that, like, if you're going to pick a bot side, like, you want to win bot lane pretty hard. And the fact that the Jinx is 3-0, it's up CS, it has that finished Kraken Slayer. I mean, it's probably sitting on a ton of gold right now. 1,700 gold right now. Going to pick up Zerka Greaves and a Zeal on this back. It's just, the team is in such a good spot right now. Like, if you give over to this second dragon, it really just doesn't matter. So the fact that they said, yeah, that's fine with me. I'm just going to take that first tower gold, get that solo onto the Jinx, mind you. The Jinx got all the gold from that. It's such a good spot here. Double Bacon Wrap is in prime position to take over this game. Oh, Squints, Bandage Toss, gonna land onto Zepho. Black Shield is going to be thrown down, as well as the Nautilus R. Dark Binding is gonna hit Squints as well, and they're just gonna disengage out. So looks for a pick, but really nice use of the disengage tools there from LSH, and they're able to avoid any potential picks. But now TSL just gonna rotate up to this Herald, and Just going to try to take this. We'll see if LSH wants to respond here with a fight, and it looks like they do. Hauer hovering around. Control ward is dropped. Malphite R is going to come through, but it's just the Malphite isolated. Double Bacon Rat picking up another kill on a rampage 4-0. And it looks like that's going to be it. They see the excited Jinx, and they say, yeah, I'm good. We're just going to back away here. And Herald actually... the Jinx ended up picking that up. So now they're just going to push down this tower. They don't really have a minion wave, though. Double Bacon Wrap going to tank 2 tower shots here. But they're just going to throw that Herald out. Zap going to be landed for some poke. But now they're in kind of a tricky situation where you can't really walk up to finish this tower. So unfortunately, not enough of a minion wave there to really do anything. Caitlyn did catch up a little bit in CS with that whole thing, just being down bot side during that fight.
2,200 gold, though.
Yeah, the four kills definitely going to make things a little difficult. Also, Jinx now sitting on a 450 gold shutdown, so if one of the carries can grab that, it's Double Bacon Wrap going to have to flash away from actual Donut, who flashes in place. A really, really good ulti from the Amumu. It's going to hit Zepho and Donut, and this Nautilus is going to go down. Now Fleeing Panda has to flash away. Zap is going to land. Maya going to land some abilities as well. And this Jinx is just continuing to auto, but not quite enough damage at this point, and Morgana gonna walk away. But yeah, overall up 5k gold right now, 4 kills, just under 17 minutes into this game. TSL looking really strong.
Now, little shock of Hoagies, gotta continue that drag soul supremacy. However, with this gold differential, what do you think their play is?
Right now, the big thing they got from that, even though somebody did die, the fact that Jinx has no sums is huge. Jinx right now, Seraphine does have the finish Leandries as Squints goes on and takes a little bit of poke damage there from Hauer and Super Hoagie. With not having that heal or that flash means that if Malphite can land an R and they do have the follow-up there, they can take down this Jinx and get that shutdown. They need to do that if they're going to have any chance of winning any of these fights right now. Mundo also getting quietly a little big, has that finished Sunfire and plated Steel Caps, so that Caitlyn is going to do legitimately negative damage. Not actual negative damage, but it might as well be.
The healing stick.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them to cut through that front line. So, but I'd say the first thing to start, getting this mid tower here is good. Does open up the map for them a little bit. It does, however, mean that they're not really in position to contest this next dragon. It's up in 20 seconds, and TSL very quick to point that out. Throwing the assist pings down there, so even with the scuttle they're actually going to wait for it to... Oh, never mind, Maya just walks through just so that I don't care. Because they know they're all topside anyway, so they're going to take this Ocean Dragon too. And now, potentially begins one of the scariest things in League of Legends. Ocean Dragon stacking with a Dr. Mundo. If they continue to stack dragons here, it's going to be near impossible to kill Greg Boy on this champion. So it definitely is putting LSH on a ticking time bomb right now. They really need to make some plays here, probably in the next 5 to 10 minutes if they really want to stay in this game. Otherwise, things are going to get really ugly. The Seraphine and Jinx are going to continue to scale up, and things are going to get real tough.
Yeah, they're trying to collapse on Lilia, but it's Lilia.
Oh, Nautilus R is going to be used on Maya. It could be potentially caught out. Dredgeline, however, is not gonna hit. And Greg Boy is just in 1v4ing right now. As we see this Mundo not taking much damage. Maya continuing to throw down some damage. The Lilia ulti is going to be used, and it should be able to get out now. As Squints and Syracuse are now looking for Howard, but the Malphite R is going to be used over the wall to get to safety. So Malphite is okay there, but that was just a small snippet of what we talked about a little bit earlier, in the fact that Mundo just doesn't die against this comp, so and it's only going to get scarier.
He goes where he pleases, truly. Especially
he really
with that Sunfire, which he'll have stacking tenacity, which will be important with how much root the other team has. So we're really looking at, like I said, that sort of, we're looking at probably both teams looking at anything that gives tenacity and giving a really big hum, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do actually see the Caitlyn now caught up on CS, but Jinx has that completed. Runon's Hurricane now just gonna be able to run through this front line, and they're just going to start up the dragon. They saw 2 people bot side, including Spooked on that Trundle, so now we're going to see this Baron basically go down just uncontested. I don't think they can really do anything about it. And yeah.
Morgana Q steal? No. Checking vision. Now, ooh.
And TSL just going to pick up basically a 20-minute Baron, and that's going to make things even harder here for LSH.
What's the timer on the next drag?
We got 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay. So, what we're definitely going to see is probably some, I would say, either 1-3-1 or 1-4. I'd like to see the 1-4 more than the 1-3-1. Mostly just saying, like, you know, leaving Mundo just to hold down top.
Yeah, Mundo can hold down the lane by himself. I think 1-4 is fine. Important thing to note is Jinx summoner spells are back up now, so they weren't able to punish the summoner spells being down there. On this, it means that 450 gold shutdown going to be a lot harder to get here as Mundo just continues to push in this wave as Howard taking a lot of damage here from the Baron empowered minion wave. Maya looking for a Swelcy does hit an actual donut, but Black Shield going to be thrown down preemptively. Is a longish cooldown though, so if Maya is able to land another one, it's going to flash forward and the Seraphine ult going to miss. We're going to see 2 people get slept into 4 mana. Mumu ult coming through. Double bacon wrap now in a spot to pop off. That's going to be a double kill, and it's Lilia going to pick up the 3rd. Fleeing Panda now the only one left alive. And Maya going to pick up another one. It's an absolute massacre in the mid lane, and we're going to see TSL basically take everything in sight. And this whole time, Mundo's just continuously pushing into top lane as well. Just bashing down that tier 2 as Malphite just really can't do anything.
I guess he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I hate it here. Inhibitor going to be taken in the mid lane there by TSL. And now they basically get full control. It looks like they're going to look for this tier 2 in the bot lane as well off of that. Off of that 4-for-0 in the mid lane. And them doing this, I mean, they basically just have full control of this side of the map. However, this could be a little greedy. You could have potentially just seen them take resets after the inhib and then run straight to Dragon. Using that spike that they just got. I mean, Jake's sitting on 2,700 gold right now. Lilia sitting on 2,300 gold. Support 1,400. Even Mundo is sitting on a ton. And
that gold differential.
Yeah, so they are going to reset. They do have about 30 seconds until Dragon spawns here.
Yeah.
So they do have a little bit of time, but this does mean that LSH is going to get full control of the river and the surrounding areas, and maybe they could look for a potential pick with Zepho's Nautilus or the Morgana Binding. So we'll see what they do here. There is a control word in the pit, though, and the Vision Cone is going to spot them out in that bush. And I think they now just have to back off. Spooked is sitting down here. Is going to go here on to Maya. And Maya is isolated from everybody. Actual Donut is going to be able to run him down. The Black Shield perfectly used there, but it does actually still fall asleep. Seraphine Charm is going to come through. And now here comes the Amumu going to land a 2-man ulti. The Jinx Rocket from the side is going to hit. And now Double Bacon Wrap is just free hitting for the most part. Dark Binding going to miss the Jinx. Zepho is on the back line, but it doesn't matter. You don't have the damage. Double kill coming out from this Jinx, and Panda now soon to follow Maya, picking up another double kill. Does get the Amumu in the process, but it does not matter. Second Ocean Drake going over the side of TSL, and Mundo just continuously pushing in that top side. Is now starting to hit the inhibitor, but decides I'm okay. I'm just gonna back up here, and the rest of the team can now push forward. Could potentially look for game with Panda down for another 20 seconds. If we do see the Malphite ult used there on to Greg Boy. That's a huge ulti being used, even though it's a pretty short cooldown. If they do decide to push in now, that's their engage tool down, so it's going to be a little tougher for them to get on to the members of TSL, but looks like they're like, I think we're good. We got what we wanted here in the end. We're just going to continue to take away jungle camp, starve them out, take our resets, and then look for probably a final push here in the next 5 minutes.
Astute observation, my friend. And I am a humongous fan of just the starve them out policy. It's honestly just brutal. Down 10.6k in gold. Most of the team is seeing Caitlyn's still at an item and a half, and Jinx is at 3 items. And most of the team is at least seeing an item and a half or having a 2-item advantage on the side of the Salami lid.
Yeah, we see the Lilia right now has that completed Leandries and Demonic Embrace and even the Void Staff to boot. So it's just going to be pure burn here from this Lilia, who's 5-0-6 right now, just absolutely dominating the map. And then of course the Jinx. I mean, 804 has completed Infinity Edge now as well. Just an absolute monster. 25 minutes in, 700 gold shutdown. I honestly don't see them ever getting that unless Bacon Wrap just steps up way out of place. So it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. And even in that whole fight, the Bacon Wrap didn't even have to use any summoner spells either. As Actual Donut dead to rights, as Double Bacon Wrap is now legendary. Zap is going to hit as we see the Malphite go onto the back line. The 3-man charm from the Seraphine, and Jinx is just going to continue to clean up everything. Triple kill coming through. Maya picks up the 4th, and now Hoagie, the only one left alive.
That's just game.
Yeah, Greg Boy just been pushing the bot inhibitor this entire time, just headbutting that thing down, and that should be the final push here for TSL as they get onto the Nexus Towers. Now, Death Timers are just a little bit too long. Hoagie has to make the miracle play, but does get hit with the Swirl Seed. Lily all going to come through, not gonna matter. The ace, the unofficial Quadra there for Double Bacon Wrap. 12-0-5 on this Jinx. 6-0-8 from Maia's Lilia. And a Game 1 win from TSL in a dominating 27-minute game.
Well, it looks like we're here for a good time and not a long time. Which we have a dominating show between Little Shop of Hoagies and TSL. TSL bringing in the series to 1-0.
See what adjustments end up getting made for game number 2, but just looking across the board, 20,000 damage there in 27 minutes from this Jinx. Just, I mean, honestly, when we talked about it in Champ Select and we talked about it just throughout the game, I mean, this Jinx was just set up to succeed. Like, there's just no real way for LSH to really get on to this Jinx. The only window they really had was that moment where both summoner spells were down and they weren't able to get on that and capitalize on that potential bounty going into their hands. And after that, especially with the Ocean Drakes being picked up and Mundo just becoming unkillable. Although Mundo really didn't team fight too much or was really there for many fights, just kind of ran down lanes and split pushed it down. But if that ever did happen, it would have been a pretty unkillable monster in the top lane running at them. But yeah, I'd say we got to shout out Maya as well, the 608 on the Lilia. I mean, Lilia, a very strong champion right now, and Maya, a very strong jungler, just piloting that too. Nothing short of success here in game number 1, as we're going to get ready for game number 2 here shortly.
Yep, main screen is up. So let me go quickly make that, or let's get the game 1 MVP going. The straw poll. Create a poll. Title: TSL MVP Week 4 G1. Options: Greg Boy, Maya, Squints, and Double Bacon Wrap. Can I also get an exclamation point ADC?
It hurts my heart as an ADC player, but also understandable. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chocobo.
All right, but looking at this last game, 27-minute victory for TSL. Honestly, like, we pointed out a lot of, let's say a lot of things that we pointed out were kind of things that ended up being keys for this game for TSL's victory here. But let's start thinking about game number 2 here. What adjustments do you think LSH need to make going into this second game to maybe bring this series back, tie it up 1-1, and get their first win of the season thus far?
Stealing the Seraphine.
This is true. Seraphine is a very strong champion.
We also see...
One might say a very broken champion.
One might say that. I would agree. We're also looking at... What else? Oh, there's my invite.
This might be a controversial opinion,
Okay,
considering the 1205 scoreline.
Yeah.
I don't think Jinx was a super. I mean, Jinx obviously was a problem this game, but I don't think Jinx was the reason that they lost the game in terms of draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think them not picking things to be able to follow up on the Malphite, really, to then punish the Jinx is kind of one of the biggest reasons. So I think if they let the Jinx go through, they just have to have things that can actually punish that. Things that can actually get on top of it. Because, I mean, we pointed it out multiple times throughout the game. There's just no real way to get onto it. Between the Seraphine healing, Mundo running in the backline, let's say Lilia being able to put a bunch of people to sleep. Just like the follow-up just wasn't there for them. Taking away the Seraphine, like you said, is actually a pretty smart thing. I don't think it gets through anything. But yeah, they're going to need more backline. They're just going to need more things to get into that backline if they're going to really, really punish that.
Yep, and now we're seeing Toby return to his team. Guy Fierick also returning to the little shop of hoagies. And do I get free channel points for that ulti? Fred, you can get 4 channel points for that ulti. However, I will have to subtract 5 channel points for that one Fist ulti. In the middle. Yeah, I like Malphite's. I like Malphite in theory. Malphite on paper is a really tough champ that you need a lot of speed to follow in. I think... Let's see, what else could Little Shop of Hoagies pull?
You just got to go full dive. If you're going to go the Malphite route, you have to go like the NA classic of just like, we're just going to dive you. And it just didn't quite have enough tools to get back there to follow up. Even if the Malphite did hit a good ult, like say hits the Seraphine and the Jinx, which is ideal, maybe even the Lilia too. There's just nothing else to actually follow up on that, and then the Jinx just had time to peel away. Like you had the shields to keep them alive, and yeah, they're just gonna need more follow up.
The Malphite wasn't there for team fights, at least not to my eyes. Like those key turning points, right? It was a very 1v. I mean, it was very 4v4 team fights with top lanes being side laning. I'm still malding over. Oh God, help me! Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's just I don't think that necessarily comes down to it being the Malphite's fault. It's just the fact that the spot that LSH was in during that game. To not really allow them to set up. There was a couple times where Malphite was with the team, but for the most part, like I'll use the double teleport instance whenever they went for the second dragon. They had everybody there. It's just that TSL just elected not to fight them there. And the way TSL did a really good job this game, I think, of selecting where they wanted to be and like how they wanted to approach the map, because it never gave LSH the opportunity to get that like perfect like opportunity for that Malphite to actually hit an ult where they could follow up if they did have any there. So we'll see what the draft adjustments come in through for game number 2. We are going to see LSH on the blue side this game, while TSL will be on red. So that does mean Seraphine is a potential B1 here for LSH. We'll see if it makes it through draft. Personally, I think it should. I think it shouldn't, but we'll see. I think Seraphine shouldn't make it through any draft right now. But
Yep, personally, stuff we shouldn't see on this board: Seraphine and Belveth.
But yeah, we will see. We shall see.
Send a Yasuo bot lane. Man, seeing a Yasuo ADC blows my mind.
It's doable though. It is doable. Yeah, I think in the past couple seasons we've really seen bot lane players expand their pools a lot more to including champions that aren't just haha I right click.
Yeah.
Or maybe sometimes I throw out skill shot and also right click. So
They're
it's
set up to the right clicking now.
Exactly. There's different things that you can play. A lot of mages popped up. Yasuo, Irelia, things that you can play in the bot side, depending on certain lanes that you have. So listen. I'm all for the non-traditional stuff. Whether it's Senna Yasuo or Irelia Sejuani or something really good. And yeah, it's big in LCS. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. Like right now, it's non-traditional, but it's being played right now because people are figuring out like how good these things can be, and AD carry players have generally expanding their pools. Yeah, I do agree as well. There's a huge skill gap when it comes to talking about LCS compared to PMA LCS. I think we can all agree on that. But I mean, if somebody has the potential to play things like those, it'd be really cool to see. Really cool to see. I just want hype. That's all I want. I just want to see. I want to see.
I want to see the spirit, the fighting spirit of LCS that we players have in common through all of our blood. Activate your fighting spirit. Act like your challenger. Miss cues like your bronze.
So it's all about that challenger mindset.
Emote like your Cloud9.
I tell my collegiate team when they go into games, I don't care what the rank is on the other team. I want you to you're challenger and you're better. That's the mindset you need to go into. You need to think that you're better than the other person, because then you're gonna start playing well. You have to win the mental battle with yourself.
You are your own worst critic. Welcome to PMA LCS Motivational Speaking at 11:38 p.m. EST.
So if we're not getting deep in thought at 11:38 p.m. EST, what are we really doing?
I don't know, but definitely not on any bingo boards.
We're just waiting for draft to get started here for game number 2. Yep. So
I'm waiting for my spectate link, people.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see some adjustments come through from LSH here, and hopefully we'll see a closer game. I want to see a close game. That's what every caster hopes for. You want to see a close game, one that's on knife's edge, basically the entire time, back and forth battles.
We want to see contests.
True.
Here in our stadiums.
True. I believe they can do it. I believe.
I know they can do it.
Motivation.
Believe in me who believes in you. And together, your Nautilus hook will pierce the heavens.
Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it.
Let's get the Shire Wolf up down here. That's not very popular anymore, is it?
No, I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure he got into some trouble too.
That's probably right.
Yeah, I don't follow too many celebrity things, but what the Malphite doing? True.
Does that Malphite do?
Usually the question is, what am I doing whenever I'm playing? Because my mechanics are potato-like, but
Usually, I'm not rotating.
I feel that. I feel that on a physical and a spiritual level, honestly. True, it's all about them. If you're playing Sen, it's all about them souls. Only souls. Team fight happening. There's 3 souls on the ground. Souls come first.
Listen, as
Souls
me
come
and
first.
Grey Boy like to say, as soon as we're called, "What's the action? What's the play?" Those clugs are looking mighty juicy, boys.
Mighty juicy.
All right, both teams have gotten into their orders. I think. Yes.
It is time, potentially, as soon as we get a
Potentially.
draft link. As soon as we get a draft link.
What is my MVP results doing? 11 minutes ago. Maye 2 votes. Squints 2 votes. Syracuse 1 vote. Exclamation point ADC once again. Don't make it rap with 0 votes. Yikers.
Listen, I'll give Bacon Rap a vote. You know, I'll do it. As the ADC player, my heart hurts.
Yeah.
But like I said,
I'm
also,
there with you.
Understandable. Have a good day.
I guess we're doing pick ban in game. Did you see the spectate link?
Nope, we're doing it in game. Looks like
Okay.
we're just going.
Running it back.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Let's
Run
go.
it back. We're gonna see Caston banned away. So pretty standard stuff across the board. Get that away from Maye, and we'll see what TSL decides that they want to throw out as their first ban. And it's gonna be the Lux banning that away from Fleeing Panda.
Still Belveth ban.
Yep, coming through. No Belveth for the Cruise today.
70% damage reduction on that knockup?
It's pretty good.
That's disgusting.
Some would say it's pretty good. We do see Singe Band coming through here, and we'll see if the Seraphine does make it through a draft. Here we see the Lux and the Zyra banned, and we're going to see Sejuani now banned away, taking that away from Guy Fieric. And we're going to see a Shen just insta-locked in here. We're going to see Heimerdinger as the response. Did they do the pro draft, and then just like
I have no idea.
just not invite us? It's possible.
It's
possible. They're just. It looks like they're just
possible. People don't like me.
All right, we actually just got Dono walled. We've been done. Yep, there's Seraphine. 100%. There's no way Seraphine makes it to B3. Okay, 100%. We got Dono walled. We got Dono walled. You hate to see it.
Why me?
We'll do our best. We'll do our best to go down the line. We're gonna see Maye picking up that Aurelia there for the mid lane. Looks like they're gonna be playing the Heimerdinger in the top lane and Cruz on the Volley Bear. So really, really strong picks coming out. Morgana being banned away. So no Hoagie Morgana, no Fleeing Panda Morgana. Wherever these players decide that they want to play, what position they want to roll into Summoner's Rift with, it's Nautilus banned away now.
I wonder what's the second enchanter they'll ban. Never mind. They didn't realize. Oh, why? That is a wasted ban.
No, well, not necessarily, because remember, they're just picking down in roll order. So the Shen probably was a later rotation pick that they picked after the Gnar was banned, if I had to guess, like in pro draft or in draft lull.
Usually they go into the bans in the same order, right? You have your first round bans and then your second round bans.
Yeah,
However, that could be just the teams that I've been a part of. We've just been gentlemen like that.
So we're gonna see. Looks like Soraka being Hubbard. So
classic great boy pick. Gotta love pressing R.
We do see Panda on Malphite from the looks of things. So I'm not sure where that Malphite is going. If that ends up being Malphite support, is that Malphite top lane with Shen support? I'm not really sure. I mean, we'll find out once 20 seconds hits, but yeah, just looking across the board, we see Maye on a very pop-off pick here with this Aurelia.
Oh,
Say Jinx as well in the hands of Squints. So a lot of pop off potential here on TSL, but if we're looking at LSH. I mean, they have some good things that go into this. I mean, you have the Shen. I mean, being into autos for a little bit, being able to get those taunts as well off. You have the Malphite, which honestly, this game a lot better of a Malphite pick in my opinion, as we do
yeah.
see it will be Panda on the Malphite. Where that is, I don't know, but it's there.
I would still
Um,
say top.
yeah, we'll see. We'll load in a game. We'll see. We'll figure things out.
But then
As
again,
we
Shen Howard, I no, it's gonna be Malphite support.
yeah
No, it's Malphite mid.
could be.
It's
It could
Malphite
be.
mid.
There are many places it could go, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine.
All right,
Um,
folks, let's make some predictions in chat. Where do you think the Malphite's going?
but yeah, looking at TSL's comp, this is a little bit more of a weird comp.
Yeah,
You have this Heimerdinger top side. Heimerdinger kind of wants to stand ground. Volibear wants to dive. Aurelia wants to dive. Jinx is fine with standing ground, chasing with the get excited passive. Like, there's many different things you can do. Soraka doesn't mind standing ground. But then you look over the side of LSH. They actually, in my opinion, have a more coherent comp. I mean, you have the Shen to be able to follow up on different plays. Shen R on a Wukong, really really scary. You have the Seraphine R. That can really turn team fights, as we saw last game. And I mean, overall, the champion is just really broken, as we've talked about 9,000 times. You have the Ashe, you have that Ashe arrow. Just so many different tools. And the Malphite is going up against the two main damage sources from the side of TSL are AD. Malphite is very, very good into a lot of AD. Obviously, the Heimer will be pumping out a lot of damage onto that front line, but especially if they have those turrets set up ahead of time. But yeah, Aurelia and Jinx, it's going to be tough to cut through that Malphite, especially if he's building full armor. It's going to be tough to cut through that Shen building full armor. They're going to have to kind of get ahead in that mid game to try to like get past those spikes. If this game goes even, I'm actually going to give a more favorable. I'm going to give it to LSH if given the chance that they have. I mean, I think
comp
this is
alone, I would also agree with the little
this
shop of hoagies having the better comp out of these two. I think Heimerdinger is the one that I like you raised questions with. I would have preferred if I saw a Shen something with side laning potential, like a Fiora or something.
It also comes down to like what the champion pools are.
Yeah.
So like that's one thing in
Although,
PMA
even
LCS.
Even
You have to.
still, it's a Fiora. Like,
I mean, I can tell you right now, I've been playing this game for years. I'm not comfortable pulling out Fiora. If people don't play it, like I can't fault them for not playing it. I mean, it's even whether it's PMA, LCS, collegiate, amateur, whatever it may be. Like, I think until you get to like the upper echelon of pro, it's
you're not in.
if
it's not in your pool, it's not in your pool.
if it's not in your pool, it's not in your pool. Like for the most part, like unless you're sitting there and you're trying to learn it, like you just kind of have to default back on to whatever comfort you have.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this Heimerdinger's really big comfort for Toby. Not really sure. I've not seen too much of them as a player, overall. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Heimerdinger can be a very annoying lane. I will say that if anybody's ever actually lane in here against the Heimerdinger, especially a Heimerdinger top, it is
laning against Heimerdinger.
It is frustrating.
But Shen's not really supposed to be in lane.
I mean, to an extent.
Like, he's supposed to, like, when I think of Shen, right? Right? I don't think of, like, Shen being, like, you know, he's in lane, like, I'm thinking of those R's, right? The TP potential, the movement that's constantly going on. Alright. So, gotta skip ahead a little bit, because we have that lovely little habit where we have King game, right?
All right. the usual skip ahead thing is not working for me. So I will be
Yep,
rejoining.
I am fixing up my FPS because I have this unknown bug where when I go into a resolution, I have a humongous FPS log at like 7. Okay, now I'm able to join in. I am paused at 8 seconds.
All right. Let's hear it. 8.
Now at 10.
Okay.
All right, so
Now at 10 as well.
countdown ready.
3, 2, 1, go. And we are off for game number 2. If you're just now tuning in, TSL currently up 1-0 in the series. As we load into this second game here on Summoner's Rift, we're going to see TSL here on the red side, LSH on the blue. As overall, looking like a pretty standard setup across the board. We're going to see
5 points.
it's like 5 points from both teams. Fling Panda going to get a little bit of poke here onto Syracuse.
In a favorite Malphite skin of mine, I'm a humongous fan of Mecha Malphite.
Yeah, looks like Panda gonna hit Maya, just being rude, just overall very rude. Very rude behavior from the Malphite. But you know it's worth. I'm gonna say worth first damage. I mean first damage wins.
Getting
games.
inside their heads. Yes, getting inside their heads.
So far, everything pretty standard. We're going to see Pixel warded here on the top side from Syracuse. As he's going to path now back down to the bot side and going to get a leash here on this red. So we're going to see Wukong starting on blue buff, and we're going to see Volibear starting on blue as well. So
Guy Fieric, I know more of a top player, not so much as a jungler. You know what? We do love to see, sportsmanship in our line.
You love to say it. You just love to see it.
And so maybe he's not trying to get into Syracuse, like trying to get into a direct confrontation with him until he's confident, right?
For sure. Seraphine is gonna land some of that poke there onto this Soraka. Trades back there with the Soraka Q. And I mean this is what we were talking about with the Heimerdinger earlier, is it went up there for a little bit, just that little bit of annoying poke there from those turrets can just be really, really annoying. As Maya gonna hit 2 first here over Panda, but not really gonna have any kill pressure there. Squint's now gonna walk up a little aggressive here. Silence is going to be thrown down onto Zepho, and the zap gonna hit. Toex did hit 2 first, so he's gonna harass this Shen out. And overall, things pretty quiet thus far, other than some lane trades going back and forth.
You know what I just realized? You know what my brain caught up with?
What's that?
The Malphite's mid.
Malphite is mid. Malphite is indeed in the mid lane. It makes sense. I mean, given the fact that you're going up against that Aurelia in the mid lane, you can just stack armor and be chilling for the most part. But Syracuse now coming in for the gank. This should be a dead Panda, and First Blood going to come through the flash there at the end to add insult to injury. Yep.
Professor Syracuse is jungling 101, especially with the focus on the Volibear lesson. The level 3 gank is especially near and dear to him.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for most Volibear play across the board. You hit 3, you look for a potential gank. I mean, you have really strong ability to impact lanes early. And Volibear overall wants to get ahead early. You want to dragon stack. You want to get early objectives. And you really want to assert your dominance over the map here in this early game. Zepho not going to land the E onto anybody, and Squints and Greg Boy going to walk away. So, other than the First Blood in the mid lane, nothing too insane happening thus far, but we'll see what Syracuse and company can do here in this early game after getting that First Blood here onto the Volibear. It does have the completed Merc Treads now as well. Really nice pickup, especially when you're dealing with things like an Ashe, you're dealing with things like a Malphite, Shen, Seraphine. I mean, Merc Treads just such high value here.
we're also seeing the fact that maybe the other side's looking at Merc Treads enviously with the fact that we have a Soraka, a Volibear, and a Heimerdinger.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're looking at this, like you're not even missing steel caps too much. Like, sure, Wukong does definitely a decent amount of damage, especially early mid, but Ashe is not a like super hyper carry champion, and I'll put that on pause. We see Heracles flash forward and goes on to Fleeing Panda now. Maie just trying to potentially finish this one up. Q dash is going to come through, and Cruz going to pick up that second kill. It's now 2-0 here on the Volibear. But as I was saying, the Ashe is not a super hyper carry. It's not a champion that's going to just pump out ridiculous amounts of damage. Much more of that utility 80 carry. So we do see the zap land for the slow onto Hoagie. Now Syracuse just running straight onto bot lane. Hoagie is going to flash, but still going to get stunned up. Does not get hit, though, with the E damage from Volibear, and that's huge. Guardian is going to be taken away now from Greg Boy as well. But Howard did TP in, and that should give Tobex just free reign to push here up in this top side of the map. Potentially take some turret plates as well.
Yeah, I would. If I was the Heimerdinger, I'd be looking at maybe 1 or 2 plates. Panda still scrapping it in the mid lane, trying to get his farm. Starting to see a heavy 20 CS lead in the first 6 minutes.
And that is to be expected.
Yeah,
given an Aurelia versus the Malphite. Yeah, ganked twice, and you're against an Aurelia. I mean, for the most part, you're not going to have that CS advantage in that lane. The whole point is just trying to stay alive, die as little as possible, play that tank role, and really be able to carry these fights later on in the game, given the utility that you have with Malphite Art.
Is a runic shield on a Soraka.
That it is.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have too many thoughts on it. You can go Relic on Soraka. It is okay. In this lane, I mean, you are outranged by Seraphine and Ashe, so going for that Spell Thieves, you might not be able to get as much value from that. So that's probably the thought process that we have. Here comes Guy Fieric for the gank here, but Syracuse is here. The exhaust instantly going to be dropped onto Guy Fieric, but the taunt comes through, and a double taunt after the Shen ult is a there, and Maie now gets the teleport, hits the 3-man Aurelia ult, and now this could be disaster. The exhaust is going to buy some time, but Syracuse is going to get the stun here onto this Shen, and now it's going to get run down. Maie picking up one, could potentially pick up another kill onto Hoagie, is going to grab a double kill coming through for the Aurelia, but the Malphite are in the back, going to pick up the kill onto the Soraka. But Panda now has to get out quick, but just is continuing to get CC'd up here. Squint's taken very low, but Maie is still here, going to land the Aurelia E, and just continuing to dash all over the place. Is finally going to drop to the Seraphine for the shutdown, but not before basically his entire team is dead. TSL just absolutely massacring everybody in the bot lane, and Heimerdinger is still pushing. Heimerdinger is still pushing. I feel like that's been a thing of this series, and we just look up and Tobex is just pushing, or whoever's playing top lane is just pushing. Another turret plate gonna go over to this Heimerdinger. 50 CS compared to 29. And sitting almost 1,000 gold, around 850-ish right now at the moment for this Heimerdinger against the Shen. This game is just starting to snowball a little bit out of control. And Volibear so far just doing exactly what this Volibear needs to do. 4-0-2 here. Syracuse really dominating the map. So we just see the taunt come through, and Tobex just stepping up way too far in tower range as well. And say if you get taunted by a Shen in tower range, you're basically dead. And yeah, Howard just a really good punish there, and is going to pick up a kill.
Interesting. Flash JK, we good. Crazy. Playing my games. So, explosive bot lane fight. Maie doing Aurelia heal things. Started out with that Vampiric Scepter. I'm a big fan of it. Going Bork first?
Yeah,
Good
Bork
stuff.
Bork pretty standard. It does have the full stack Conquer, and Flame Panda just decides, yeah, I'm back away from this. I don't have ult up right now, so not worth fighting Aurelia. Full stack passive, full stack Conqueror. That's the no zone. We don't go there. As Maie is going to walk away there from the Seismic Shard, and Guy Fieric walking through lane just to try to relieve a little bit of pressure here from Panda. Syracuse is sitting in the wing, so Maya is going to land the E-stun, and now they're just going to go right here onto it. So we're going to see the Wukong ult going to be popped here, but I don't think he has the damage here. Double kill going to come through. Now the Shen is just here, just a little too late. But no, maybe not. Hey, nope, never mind. He's going to be able to dash away through those minions. And now Hauer on the wrong side of town. On a killing spree is this Aurelia, now 5-1-4. Syracuse and Maya right now, a combined 9-1-9. 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. That's a scary sight. When you're staring down the barrel of a 4K gold lead, less than 10 minutes into the game, things are not going well for your team. So
Syracuse is continuing.
Oh, here we're gonna see a bot dive come through. Say Seraphine Charm is going to come through, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Hoagie gonna drop. Squint's picking up that kill, but Maya might die here in the mid lane. Panda gonna pick up the shutdown. Just Maya getting a little too greedy. We're gonna see the flash Q from Syracuse come through, and it's gonna draw out the Shen R. And now Heimerdinger will be able to push in more of that top lane. Only 2 turret plates remaining, so we'll see how much advantage they can get on the top side for Syracuse drawing out that huge ability. Ooh, Guy Fieric is waiting in the wings. Control Ward is going to spot him out, though, so Squints and Greg Boyd going to walk away to safety.
So if you're wondering what Toby's doing, he's still pushing and still taking tower plates. Something funny I like to play with Toby is, does he have a mythic? And it's usually the answer is no. Because he's playing Singed, and Singed doesn't need a mythic.
Right now, I'd say he's in a pretty good spot to go back and get that mythic. 1,700 gold, almost 1,800 gold in his pocket right now, around 4,500 gold overall, and it should be a really big back for this Heimerdinger, up 25 CS. I mean, things just going really well on the top side, and got a 610 gold stimulus check from that first tower in the top side. Control World is going to be dropped over the pit by Guy Fieric, but I don't really think that you can contest this. It'd be a very bold strategy. Oh, never mind. He's just going to go over the wall and steal it. That's fine. He is going to die. He is going to die for it. Maya going to pick up another kill, but the man's a mad lad. He said, you know what? You know what? We're down by a lot. We're just going to send it. And he did. So, Syracuse now getting taunted by Howard, but between Panda on Malphite and Howard on Shen, just not enough damage, really, to punish either one of them. So, as we see, love the sportsmanship coming out. Here's acknowledging the absolutely nutty smite there from Guy Fieric. Yeah, that was nuts, actually.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a wonderful tactic. Squint sticking around. Nope, Shen's not going to be taken away.
Well, we already see Heimerdinger R be popped. Going to throw down the turret, so... Squint's just kind of hanging around, but... overall, that is Heimerdinger R now down, so that's a huge ability on cooldown now if they decide to make a play towards this Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger, very hard to gank usually, especially if they have any idea that you're coming, but without R it could be a little easier, so we'll see if they do anything. It doesn't look like they're in a position on the map, though, to really capitalize on it at the moment, as things now quieting down for a little bit. We've had 15 kills in 13 minutes, so definitely a bloodbath thus far here on the Rift in game number 2.
Yeah, definitely. TSL riding high decides to continue their charge into the little shop of hoagies, starting to order their sandwiches and not giving tip.
You know, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. If you don't tip, there are very strong words I could use for you.
In America, you don't tip.
In America. It is different elsewhere, but yeah. And if in America you don't tip, I have problems with you. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, looking at some completed items now across the board. We do see Rift Herald get dropped. Looks like in the mid lane. It's gonna be dropped in. Some plates going over. Hoagie gonna pick up a nice little chunk of gold there. Now, yeah, looking at. Oh, we might see a play bot side here. Guy Fieric coming in the back. Does have the 3 turrets set up though, but Syracuse is here and says, I would like to fight this Wukong, good sir. I am 4-0-7 and I am very large. But here comes the Malphite R as well, but he's saying Volibear are going to be using. He's stuck in a 1v3 right now, but Maya and Toby are right behind. Ash Arrow is going to hit onto Sarah Cruz. Fleeing Panda going to flash away from the E. Zepho going to land a two-person ult, but now here comes Maya on the backline. Zepho going to have to flash away, and now Aurelia in the backline trying to fight for their lives, and a lot of things just happened. Nobody died.
Yeah. Channel is still up.
It's the only
ult
ult
is
still
up.
Oh, Jinx ult is still up, yeah. So two ults are still up, and nobody died.
Summoners are looking very sparse on the side of Little Shop Bogies. A lot of flashes used to not get caught by the Salami with CC.
I think every flash was used. And looking at it, yeah, no, every flash was used there.
Yeah.
From LSH. So next fight will be explosive. That's for sure. On the side of TSL, Maya the only person using flash. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the next fight for sure. Sarah Cruz has pinged out 3 flashes. Can he ping out the other ones?
Who knows at this point? I'm still trying to take count of resources and ults that were used, and I don't think the Soraka was needed there, maybe, but I guess it's a nice insurance policy.
Yeah, looking at the next objective here on the map, we have Ocean Dragon spawning in a little over 30 seconds. And looking at the items across the board, I don't see a way LSH fights this unless they go for another Guy Fieric Miracle Steal, which would be nutty if he hit 2 in one game.
Yep. Now note, Little Shop of Hoagies doing good to at least keep track and have that ownership of map objectives. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
And Toby's pushing top lane, in case anyone was worried.
Heimerdinger just doing Heimerdinger things. Just, we push.
We push, I put down turrets, you take burn.
And I push some more.
And,
yeah. Right now, TSL having full control over this dragon area. They do know that Guy Fieric is down here, and we're actually going to see the Volibear run towards this Wukong. Is going to land the stun here, but Zepho is going to actually root up the Jinx. Arrow going to come through, but the insta-cleanse from Squint's going to prevent anything else from happening. And with Ash Arrow down, they might potentially look here for this dragon. Toby just going to kill Fleeing Panda straight up here in this top side. Just this Heimerdinger, just such a nuisance. Pushing down these towers. Eventually, they are going to have to find a way to respond. It looks like Guy Fieric is going to be the one. So once they see this Wukong topside, we're going to see probably an insta beeline from TSL towards this dragon. And Maya just continuing to push in this bot tower as well. Going to pick up this tier 1. Nice little gold influx there. Going to push in this wave as well. And this should give Sarah Cruz more than enough control on the map to take this ocean dragon. So that'll be picked up here. And after that,
not above the Wukong.
Yeah.
Now here's what I have trouble playing Wukong nowadays. I used to play him a ton, but Wukong's now, he has some sustainability, but it's like front-ended sustainability, you know? Like, you have to load up for Bear at the beginning of the fight and at the beginning of the encounter. Not really a possibility as soon as we see all that burn from the Malphite.
Oh, Tobek's in some trouble here. Guy Fieric going to come over the wall and just going to finish up that kill. So Wukong now on the board as Panda is just in towers. If those towers went off, another...
Here we go.
Jinx Rocket, and it's gone. Crowny's Comet going the other way. Now technically Crowny's Comet is an Ash Arrow. I do want to preface, but it's so fun. It's so fun to throw it out there. I too would be shooting that rocket every time.
Yeah, so, there's something special to hurl the javelin.
No digs, no shots. I 100% as a Jinx player am throwing that out. 10 out of 10. 10 times, no regrets. As we're gonna see Volibear now move up towards the second Herald. Despawns at about a minute, but there should be more than enough time for TSL to actually take this. We do see mid lane getting pushed in here from the side of LSH. So I'll see if
Near
anything
7k
happens.
gold lead.
Yeah,
Power and Toby once again meet in the spot where top laners say, and he's just going to get chased down and burned down. Nope, he's able to get away. No, there's an Aurelia.
Yeah, W not going to land, but Guy Fieric now definitely on the wrong side of the rift as Maya and Sarah Cruz, two very strong members as... Oh! That was almost so sick. Okay, so Guy Fieric went for the clone, dodge juke out, but Maya just stayed on the other side of the wall, so unfortunately wasn't able, but he did full Sarah Cruz. Sarah Cruz did ult over the wall, so Fred was bamboozled. I do want to put that out. Eric, I see what you did there, and I respect it. It's unfortunately Maya was there. Yeah, at least Fred's ankle. It's the small. When you're down almost 10k at 20 minutes, it's the small victories. Mm-hmm. It's the small victories you take.
You take those victory conditions. You're saying I want to have fun here, and
that is gonna get run. He flashes into the minion wave. The minions are just doing so much work. Heimer picking up the solo bolo baby over the Shen, as Rift Herald gonna now get pushed into mid lane. A lot of people might say that flash was troll, but we're gonna see a lot of things go out. We're gonna see Seraphine and Ashe ult be thrown down onto Sarah Cruz, but there's just not enough damage. Guy Fieric is in the backline. Should be able to kill the Soraka here, but Sarah Cruz is just a monster. Squint's continuing to kite back, and it's going to take down Guy Fieric, and Sarah Cruz is going to flash forward onto Super Hoagie. Fleeing Panda is here as the R does come through, and Squints is going to go down. Aurelia now, though, in the fight. Not quite going to land the E onto Zepho, but does pick up a kill of their own as Panda tries to run away. And this whole time, Sarah Cruz is still alive, and this volley bear is just absolutely massive and probably just unkillable at this point. At least for a little bit, as Maya going to continue to push down this tower. Is going to land the E onto Fleeing Panda, but it's going to get rooted up by Zepho. Panda actually can fight him here. Has Frostfire Gauntlet, Bramble, and Plated Steel Caps. So Zepho just continuing to pump out things here, but there is a volley bear, sadly. But the Shen taunt does come through, and the shutdown is coming through. Just too greedy! Too greedy from TSL, the PMA LCS Classic, and Sarah Cruz, the unkillable Demon Bear, might finally go down. The taunt, not quite, but the auto finishes it off. Shutdown coming through from Hauer, getting that on this Shen. Just too greedy. TSL just feeling themselves a little bit. You know, I mean, when you're up 10k gold at 20 minutes, you feel yourself. You're like, the caster said I'm unkillable, even though he's not listening to cast. He's definitely feeling it. He's like, yeah, I got this. Nothing can touch us. I'm an 8-kill Aurelia. I got Shield Bow. I got Bork. I got Merc Treads. We're chilling.
I feel great.
But
I can't do it.
But the whole team's a little bold. And some shutdowns do go through. So this is really big, actually, for LSH. Those are the two main shutdowns that they needed to get. And now that they have them, they're going to be able to push down this mid lane tier 1. And we'll see if they're actually able to swing this back. And that's the power of their comp. They just have so much ability to actually CC whatever's in front of them and just kill them and play it front to back. Dragon now spawning. It looks like they're going to go for this Cloud Drake. But TSL running straight to Baron. Tobex this whole time is still just pushing in top lane. Going to take this tier 2 here on a trade. So we're going to see TSL probably kill this Baron before anybody can really respond. Guy Fieric is here. Can he pull off another Miracle Steal? Control word is dropped, so they do know that there is somebody back there. Kind of has to take a guess on whenever this is going to actually go down. The Aurelia E does not land. Wukong against the world. Let's see what happens. Ashe Arrow is going to come through. Malphite ult comes through. And Sarah Cruz does win the Smite fight. But Maya is very low. Shield Bow was popped and is going to go down. Now Greg Boy is going to be next. Double kill coming through for the Malphite. And Hoagie picking up another. LSH turning this game on its head. The team fight ultis coming through. And they do punish them ever so slightly. Tobex still pushing in. Still getting a lot up here in this top lane. And now Hoagie and Co. is here. This is probably a dead Heimerdinger if I've ever seen one. Taunt going to come through, and that will do it. Zepho picking up that kill. And slowly but surely, they're clawing their way back. The 1-1 is not out of the question. LSH is not dead yet. They're willing for this game to go the distance.
Yeah.
And yeah, that collapse, beautiful.
Just all sides. Just folded them in. Mind you, Volleybeard got out, but you know what? That bears the stuff of legends. Literally, and here he comes. Taking away jungle cams, leaving away one rooster.
Yeah, and he can indeed do that. Just run in and take whatever. But yeah, the game's not over yet for TSL by any means. I mean, they still have a Jinx that can scale really, really nicely into the late game. I mean, Aurelia's Aurelia. That champ is just a monster, especially if it's ahead. So, and with the Soraka healing behind it, can be really, really solid. But we're starting to see the tanks now from the side of LSH really catch up. We see this Shen now has Steel Caps, has Frostfire Gauntlet, Force of Nature completed. We see this Malphite, completed Thornmail, completed Frostfire, completed Steel Caps. This Jinx and this Aurelia is just going to... It's going to take forever for them to actually kill these two frontliners. And if they can't get onto this Ashe, they can't get onto this Seraphine, it's going to be really tough for them to win straight up 5v5 fights. Guy Fieric now going on to Tobex here. Say Zanya's Hourglass is going to be popped, but they're just going to kill away the towers. But Tobex just still alive. Arrow is going to hit, though. And Guy Fieric is going to go down. Maie now TP's in. Now Howard has to run, but the minion wave is there. If Maie wants to chase, decides not to. Really nice Ashe arrow coming in there from Super Hoagie. Guy Fieric does go down, but they do kill the Heimerdinger in the process.
Tobex does sell himself dearly, though, for free ults being used.
Indeed. Maie is going to get taunted up, and he's under tower. He's just tanking tower shots this entire time. Shield Bow is down. Maie has to now pull off some Aurelia shenanigans. The healing. Oh my god, the wish coming through. This is so much healing from Aurelia. But Fleeing Panda does have the Thornmail. Says, I'm not afraid of your healing. You tanked another tower shot. You're going to go down. Fleeing Panda now on a rampage. But this whole time, TSL just taking mid inhibitor. Super Hoagie trying to do whatever they can to do some damage, but Ashe just simply doesn't do enough, especially with just Shield Bow in the pocket. Doesn't have that completed bork just yet, but Greg Boy is going to have to flash away. And
clean.
Yeah, this game getting closer, but a nice rotation there from TSL. They saw how many people went topside. All the focus went on to Maie, all the focus went on to Tobex, and they were able to get that mid lane inhibitor down, so really nice play from them. I'd really like to see LSH really start to turbo some farm into this Ashe. You need to get this Ashe going now at this point, because this Jinx is just going to continue to ramp up and do a ton of damage. The Aurelia is just going to continue to get stronger as well. Now has the completed Death's Dance as well, so that champion is now fully in I am very stupid mode. And yeah, they're going to need to turbo some farm into the Ashe. It does have the completed Bork now, so that should help out a ton, as Howard is taking a lot of damage here from these Heimerdinger turrets. The Heimer ult is going to be used, and we're going to taunt away, so they're going to pull that cooldown out from the Heimerdinger. Not a long cooldown, though. Should be back up in about 30 seconds or so. So not the biggest win overall. As next dragon spawning here in about 20 seconds. Shen ult is available, so Howard is going to continue to sit on this side lane and try to potentially be in position for a Shen R if they decide to contest this dragon.
What is the cooldown of a Heimerdinger with Cloud Soul? I'm not saying they're gonna get it. I'm just saying, like, theoretically, right? Like, how fast?
It's low. Ooh, Hoagie, the Ashe air from downtown. Zapdos missed the E on a non-moving target, but Seraphine ult says, that's fine, I'll just do that instead. So they knew they were going for Dragon, but they are able to land the Ashe ult from downtown to stun up Tobex, and that will be another kill going over to LSH. But Maie and Coach is going to continue to push in these waves. They just feel that they're much stronger in the game at the moment. And realistically, with the Jinx where she's at right now, I would agree with that. They can, for the most part, push down these towers, especially if they don't have these ultis available. Seraphine ult not available, Ashe ult not available. But Guy Fieric is just going in anyway. Shen R is on top. The taunt is going to be landed there onto Squints, and he's just chain CC'd to death. That's what the Malphite was missing last game, and they got it this time around. Maie is going to take down Guy Fieric as the Syracuse ult is going to be thrown down to get to safety. Maya gets exhausted and is going to go down, and Hoagie picks up that kill. LSH is running away with this fight. Tobex now trying to pull off a hero play, but Heimerdinger, you don't have enough damage, honey. Super Hoagie now picking up another kill, and now Sarah Cruz and Greg Boy trying to fight it off in the backside. Panda getting very low. But Sarah Cruz, this is at the point where Volibear is going to start to fall off. We're 29 minutes into the game. That early game window where he's super strong has passed. And LSH has really evened up this game state. The gold lead might say that TSL is winning. But this game is very, very close now.
19-19. I am loving these team fights from Little Shop of Hoagies. It is punching. It is diving. It is the follow-up. It is the Shen R to protect the Wukong so that the Wukong can land that armor pen, can land the knockups. Now, little bit of critique here. You know what would have been real nice?
Hit me with it.
That Seraphine R that was used one man on the Toby.
So for the win that they got with how much gold that they were down, it don't matter. But now we're going to see a Baron get started up. Hawkshot is going to be thrown out, so they know that they're on it. And this could be potentially very dangerous. Maya now going to go on to Fleeing Panda here, who was just sitting off in the wing looking for a potential TP play. Ash Arrow is going to be thrown down, and it's going to hit onto the Soraka. That's huge. The Seraphine R just barely nicks as well. And that's a dead healer for TSL. LSH now just has full reign over this area. Soraka's dead. Jinx is dead. You can potentially look at this Baron. Irelia definitely still scary, but is sitting down now in the top, in the bot side of the map. Does have TP available, so you just have to kind of single them out. No exhaust up as well, but they just elect to not do it. They say, you know what? Let's not risk the Irelia montage play. That still very much is a potential thing that happens, and we're just going to back away. We're going to take our wins when we can get them, and we're just going to continue to claw back in this game. There's no real rush to force it at this point. They know what they have in their comp, and right now it's working wonders even after a rough early game.
The stabilizing is an absolute just chef's kiss.
Howard, though, a little bit far pushed up. The Shen R is going to go through, though, and Shen says, see you later, nerds. I'm out. I'm going to run back to Fountain. But that is Shen R now down, so that is a huge cooldown being used. Does still have TP. We could see TSL start up the Baron again, and they do. Maya now on the bot side, and we'll see if they chase. They know Zepho and Fleeing Panda are down here, and Maya, all he has to do is buy time. All he has to do is buy time here. Ash Arrow is going to go wide. Now, that's a Crownie's Comet. Maya going to get rid up there from Zepho, but the taunt is going to come through. Not quite layered the CC. Not quite layering the CC is Maya going to kill off Zepho, and here comes Hoagie. Have to focus him down, and they do. And now on to Baron. Cruz going to get the smite. And they're going to pick up Guy Fieri, who went in for the smite steal. So TSL does get away with the Baron there. And Maya does pick up a kill and a 1v3. So nice plays coming out from them.
2 kills, I think.
Yeah, two kills across the map. Like I said. But Dragon now up in 48 seconds. As a Baron now in the hands of TSL. We do see Squints now with the completed Infinity Edge as well. So this Jinx very much online, very strong, able to carry a fight. The Ashe now also has a completed Rage Blade, so we'll be able to be slowing targets basically at will whenever they feel like it. Not going to get that AoE presence you might get, but honestly, the on-hit version of Ashe right now, probably the strongest version of her at the moment. Rest in peace, Season 6 days of her being an insane ADC with Runons. Gone but never forgotten. Boomer take.
The boomer take.
From me. But I miss it. I miss it dearly. Panda are now looking to collapse on Tobex. We're going to see the Heimerdinger ult be used. Guy Fieri is here as well. And this time, they layer the CC. Zanya's Hourglass going to be used, but I don't think that's going to save. Oh, maybe. Tobex is buying quite a lot of time. Taunt is going to miss. He is just running them around the turrets, which is not enough damage at this point. Squints is now just potentially popping off as well. Hoagie now getting the Shen R. It's just Greg Boy and Cruz. You have to keep the Volibear off the Ashe if you want to win this. Now we're just going to continue to chase down. TP now being used. This should be Maya from the looks of things. Ult going to be thrown down onto Hoagie. But Hoagie just kiting away beautifully. Sarah Cruz is going to go down, but the Aurelia is going to land just the edge of the ulti. And Howard barely alive. The auto hits the tower, but Maya going to be able to dash and pick up the double kill. And overall, TSL coming away with the win in that fight. And now just going to continue to take away towers. Say Panda Nose can't contest Maie right now. Fully stacked up Irelia. Guy Fieric, though, does pick up the dragon, so that does put them on soul point. But now they got to focus on not losing the game. Maie just going to continue to push down the towers, knowing that Panda can't really do anything at the moment. It has the Soraka behind. Guy Fieric now is here. Maie does have to back away, but does dash back in. E going to be used, and here comes the Malphite R. Zepho going to be rooting up Maie. They know Aurelia doesn't have ult, does have the shield bow popped. It's going to pick up the kill onto the Malphite, and it's just continuing to just heal up. But Guy Fieric going to flash out of the E and prevent any more shenanigans from happening. Zepho going to pick up the shutdown. And for now, TSL is held off in the base of LSH.
Yeah, LSH is probably going to see itself confined to its room right now. Just to say, you know what, you now have to contend with 2 avenues of super minions. TSL's probably once again going to try starving them out in the jungle. Shen's collapsible.
I will say that one thing that was really, really big is Guy Fieric picking up that dragon.
Yes.
So if Guy Fieric does not pick up, I say this as Howard taunts over the wall into Squints and Sarah Cruz. Ash R is going to come through, just barely misses Squints. The big thing about picking up that dragon is even though they got 2 inhibitors, if they're not able to end the game in the next 5 minutes, there's no threat of there's no threat of soul, I guess, being thrown down by using those inhibitors as pressure. At best, they get on soul point because he took that dragon, and that's really big in delaying the game. Now, granted, delaying the game does mean Aurelia, although Aurelia now sitting at full build has the complete Wits End and Spirit Visage, the Jinx will be able to get their last item on board and continue to get really, really strong. But Volibear's not going to get any stronger, so that's something that's really, really big. And it just kind of keeps them in the game. These inhibitors aren't a death sentence unless they lose a really, really big team fight. As Tobex now getting collapsed on Guy Fieric and Fleeing Panda just going on to this Heimerdinger. Sonya's is going to be popped. Guy Fieric getting taken very low. Has to finish off this kill pretty soon. The Shen R actually is going to have to be used here. And with that being said, TSL knows that there's 3 people topside. They're just going to try to run things down. Super Hoagie is caught out of position. Seraph's going to find the pick onto the Ashe. Seraph going to do everything to keep Hoagie alive, but it's not going to be enough when there's a full stack of Aurelia and a Volibear on you. So Volibear ult is going to come through. The Q is going to land onto Guy Fieric, and now it's Maie and Seraph's versus the world. Can they do it here? Maie is going to get the shield bow pop, is going to get taunted away, and the healing just not quite enough. They are going to both go down. We do see Squints and Greg Boy still alive, pushing in that bot lane, and that will be the 3rd inhibitor to fall, so that's going to stagger inhib spawns. So even though they lost that fight, there was a huge pick from Seraph's finding that onto Super Hoagie, and even though they died in the process, they were able to get that 3rd inhib, which is going to, like I said, stagger the inhib spawn timers and make things a lot harder for LSH to try to regain control of their side of the map.
Yeah, and we still have a banger of a game on our hands. This is what I'm talking about. The spirit, the fighting, the LSH little shop of Hoagies digging in their feet, tightening their chef's aprons and saying, let's make a hero out of them. However, now, like I said, still grounded in base with these free super minion waves having at them.
Now, I will say, if TSL isn't able to end the game, they are just funneling in gold here, which will allow the Ashe to maybe catch up. But, I mean, this is a lot of pressure. I mean, anytime you have 3 inhibs down on the map, you're basically confined to your base, and TSL knows this, and they're going to start up this. They're going to start up this drag. This time, however, Maie is behind the pit, and actually we're going to see Seraph's go over onto Guy Fieric preemptively. And they're going to try to kill this off. But now Zepho is here as well as Howard. Squint's going to get taunted up. Guy Fieric can get the kill, but Seraph's does land the smite. Guy Fieric now getting taken very low. Gets exhausted on the back. And the shutdown going to go through. Howard now is going to be able to kill the Soraka. Zepho going to have to flash away from Maie, but it's going to not quite be enough. The Ashe is backing, but it has to stay because Maie... Oh, no, doesn't actually complete the back. Tobex is going to be taken out here. Maie now going to teleport into the base. This is absolutely hectic. Hoagie now is going to get stunned up, is going to have to flash away, does dodge away from the Aurelia W. Maie, you're just in a little too deep. Shield Ball going to be popping the dash away, and it's not going to be enough. You're not going to stay alive. Sarah Cruz now running for the hills. There's so many super minions, but LSH survives. They hang on. They're going to be able to clear these out. 2 inhibs are going to come back up, and even though the dragon is up, let's talk about that dragon that Guy Fieri took a while ago. That's not going to be Soul for TSL, like we talked about earlier. So they're still in this game. This game is not over. And we are, ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we are locked into a 40-minute banger here in this game number 2 between LSH and TSL.
Now, the paranoid in me would definitely be using Reds and base right now, just scouring it for any TP wards. However, good point to that little paranoia if I was a man to keep up on. No stealth wards anymore, except on support.
And another thing to note, they know Maie used teleport to try to go into the base and end the game. So they know that the only person that has teleport available is Tobex, and granted, Heimerdinger can push towers very, very fast. So that is something you still have to be concerned about, but luckily, at the moment, there's no wards in base. They don't have to worry about it too much. Now they just have to stop TSL from just running it straight down mid and retaking those inhibitors. That's when things are going to get tough if that ends up happening, because then we're on timers where we could potentially be looking at a Soul. Zepho playing with their food a little bit. Not sure if you want to walk up to Amaya. Guy Fieri going to have to flash away here from Sarah Cruz, as Volley could still potentially try to run down this Wukong, but is going to be taken low. They're out there taking blue buff, but the rest of the team is just running into the base. Maya could potentially look here onto Super Hoagie. Hauer is here, is going to land the taunt here as the Ash Arrow does come through. Chomper's going to be thrown down as well, but Super Hoagie is going to be collapsed on by Maya. Ash is dead. That's huge. We're going to see 2 other kills come out from Jinx. Squints picking up 2 kills in the shutdowns as well. Seraphine ult's going to come out, but it's too little, too late. Your carry is dead. Your team hopes are dead. Maie with the triple kill to finish the ace. And TSL, it got scary. It got real scary. Huge early game lead. We thought that oh yeah, this game's going to be a breeze. LSH brings it back. Really insane steal from Guy Fieri. The one dragon gets the other dragon to delay the game later on. They're continuously clawing back in fights. But this time around, they just got caught out of position there too much in their base. They tried to push up a little bit too much. And when you have open inhibitors like that, TSL just simply ran it down. It was a 3v5. And even though you caught out the Aurelia originally, the fact that the Aurelia was able to then get onto Hoagie, who had no flash, basically was the nail in the coffin for them. Zepho was not in position either because they were taking blue buff up there. And overall, that's going to be it. I will say, a much more entertaining game than Game 1. 41-minute banger. A total of 67 kills.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, folks, we witnessed a bloodbath, and I love every second of it. This game was hypey from start to finish.
I was living for every second of it.
But it is going to be TSL coming out with the 2-0 this week over LSH. And, yeah, anything else that we want to say about this game that wasn't already said?
Toby was pushing.
Toby was indeed pushing. The Heimerdinger, actually, it was kind of the question mark going into draft. But like we said, like, comfort just kind of reigned supreme. And I gotta say, there was just a lot of times where the Heimerdinger was able to just get so much on the map. Like, the Shen was moving around the map all the time, trying to make plays with the team, and the whole time, Heimerdinger's just like, cool, you're giving me room to push, I'll push. And was able to get a really big early lead off of that. Granted, did get picked a little bit towards the mid and late game, just kind of by themselves up in top side, but outside of that, they did their job. Like the Heimerdinger was there and was able to effectively put pressure on the map when they needed it to. And because of that, like, a lot of the team was able to roam kind of freely around the map and get into other things. I mean, Maie and Sarah Cruz just dominating the early game as well really helped things out. And then Squints on the Jinx. I mean, I feel like we didn't talk about the Jinx too much this game, but, like, just for the most part was set up once again for success. I think both games we saw Jinx just really set up to the point where not much could really go wrong. Granted, the Malphite had a lot more follow up here in this game to actually kill the Jinx, and we did see that happen a couple times where if the Jinx was just caught out, just dead instantly. They had all the follow up there. They had the Seraphine R to follow up. They had the Ashe R to follow up. There's everything there to like the Wukong diving in. They had everything, all the tools that they needed to shut down the ADC.
Sorry, I'm just chuckling at Squints in chat.
But yeah.
You say you did nothing, but the damage would like to differ.
Listen, to be fair, ADC is just kind of farming simulator with horror element. That's just kind of every game with ADC.
It does make it happen. Just first person SCP. Just you have 3 ADCs walk into chat, and then next thing you know, you turn and it's a level 3 lightning bear.
But yeah, very much an absolute banger. Was very happy to be casting this one. It was a ton of fun, had a ton of hypey moments, and it is going to be TSL taking the 2-0.
So, our MVPs, we're going to have for game 1 is Maie and Squints tied for 2 votes each. Toby and Sarah Cruz are tied for 3 votes each. Am I just gonna have the entire team minus Greg Boy and my... Oh, Sarah Cruz at 5 votes. Alright, I'm gonna give this 1 more minute and then I'm sending it.
Just gonna send it.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12:36 a.m. Eastern.
While the game is wrapping up, we're getting the MVP votes in. I do want to give a big shout out to LSH because I really think they made some really good adjustments in draft in game 2, and I think even though the early game was rough, they really clawed back into this game to the point where I really thought that they were actually going to come back and make the full comeback.
Bangers.
Just
Bangers
some unfortunate
second game.
Yeah, just some unfortunate positioning at the end, unfortunately. Hurt that, but yeah, it was some good League of Legends. I was loving every second of it.
And
Malphite with follow up.
Yes, the Malphite follow up.
Malphite with follow up is OP, ladies and gentlemen. Especially when the 2 main damage threats are an Aurelia and a Jinx. Feels good. Feels good. But yeah, so 40-minute banger. As it looks like Toby has gotten a 4th vote, but it looks like Sarah Cruz is still holding on 5-4 here.
All right, then. So we will take my Sarah Cruz and Squints into player of the game 1. And we'll see you there. Now, what do you want to pick there? Oh, here we go. Maie, MVP of game 1.
5 out of 7 Maies.
5 out of 7? How many out of 7 Maies for Lilia?
Well, that was 7 out of 7 Maies.
You're going to have to crank up Matt. His mic is very quiet.
Matt's as cranked as I can make him for Discord.
We'll make it work. We'll do it. We'll do a thing live.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it. We'll do it live.
Wow.
A little quiet. We'll make it work. Make it work.
Just swallow the microphone.
Yeah.
True.
If you could
True.
Just swallow your laptop, dude. You played Aurelia, isn't that the same thing? Just
True. All right, well, first off, congrats on the 2-0. Game 1, I mean, not much to say about game 1. Y'all kind of just smacked them around pretty convincingly. I mean, I think they only had 3 kills in the first game, so I really like the draft that you guys put together, too, for game number 1. Just not a lot of ways to really punish any of your carries, and got ahead early, and after that, it was just kind of a wrap. But game two was a banger.
Serafina Cruz.
So, yeah, game two, we saw the Heimerdinger, which I'm assuming was a comfort pick. We talked about it a little bit.
Was it?
Secrets.
Damn it.
Secret. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Understandable.
Hold on to your secrets, wizard.
Thank you.
Understandable. But yeah, we looked at the draft and I was like, okay, I really like what LSH is trying to do here. They have Malphite with follow up. I think that was one of the biggest problems for them in the first game. Mm-hmm. They had the Malphite to R onto the Seraphine, onto the Jinx, but like after that, they really couldn't kill you. Whereas this time, they very much could kill you. And they did do that a couple times.
So what was the reaction to that?
Literally, Matt just shouting, we win this, and me being like, no, they have the team fighting comp. Just back off. We're splitting and winning. And thus every fight ended up with Matt and me just being like, okay, fine, let's try a 2v5.
To be fair, when you're up 10k gold as Volibear and Irelia, you feel good. That's a 2v5. You're like, I'm feeling good.
Some beer girls, come on.
I'm
Matt baiting me into that 2v5 mid that gave him 7,000 golden shutdowns.
Yeah, it was definitely.
He's muted. He can't defend himself.
He's doing his best.
It was definitely the big turning point for LSH in that game. But yeah, I think like early game, you guys played really, really well. I mean, like you got the Aurelia ahead early. Like the Volibear was doing Volibear things early.
Yeah, your gang rotations were on point.
Unga Bunga Q.
The Unga Bunga, I take 3 camp and go gank somewhere. Volibear gameplay.
Yeah.
Every time. 60% of the time it works every time.
100%, yeah.
But yeah, it's the early game went well. Yeah, let's talk about the 2v5 in the mid that kind of turned things around. At that point, what's kind of going through your heads? Like, were you guys a little worried there, especially given that their comp? Like, what was kind of the mindset of like trying to like not get back in the game because you guys were still up in terms of gold lead, but trying to stabilize the game, I guess is a better term.
I mean, we just knew we had so we look at the two comps. We knew if they had their ult, we're just not winning that fight. That's a gnarly team fight comp. Wukong Seraphine's disgusting with the mouth. It's just gross. So we knew we didn't want to fight, and we knew we drafted basically 1-3-1. So just like split push to victory.
Yeah.
Was pretty much the name of the game, and that's how we play. Is like, let's not fight. Let's just kind of sit here. I think there was one dragon where we just stalled them out so long that Toby finally killed the Malphite, and then the Wukong had to go up, and we got the dragon. It's like, yes, this is the way we should be doing this. And we also, it's a MyA team. We did the things.
taking them with 2 hands and trying to say, I'm gonna choke you out, basically.
Yeah, it was something. But yeah, it was just like we knew especially like we just can't team fight them, so let's just not team fight them.
Yeah, let's. That's a great readjustment plan. It's just this, like when you realize you're looking at the other team and you go, "That's scary. I don't like those R keys."
I mean, to be fair, before the game, we're like, "Yeah, we're never team fighting them." I told Toby I'd never want to see him.
Listen, Toby did what
so much.
He did work.
Like, every time that Shen went somewhere on the map, it was just like Heimerdinger being like, "So I get 500 gold now." Yeah, very, very good.
Oh, it took great restraint on his part to not TP in, and we appreciate his mental fortitude.
Yeah, it's always that kind of like newsreel I have with you guys is what's Toby's doing, and it's always side lane pushing.
Yeah, it's honestly like when you're talking about just continuing to split and kind of like not 5v5 them. It was really, really nice to see, to like understanding the win cons that y'all had for the game. As simple as it may sound, even a lot of Halo teams just don't do it for some reason. I remember sitting in a call for the collegiate combine a couple months ago, and I was sitting in a call with Zoo, who's one of like the best coaches in AM, coach of Supernova right now, and he was basically saying like every time a team drafts Malphite, we just go on the side and have the Malphite burn the R before a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or like we force them elsewhere around the map. Team fight comps aren't Exodia. They may seem like Exodia, but they're not always Exodia. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but like y'all did a really good job of being able to pull out those big team fight ults at random points. So like there would be times where they would go to contest something from y'all, but like they might not have Ash Arrow, or they might not have Seraphine ult. And if you don't have like one of the ults in a big wombo, it can be a lot harder to win those straight up fights where your comp should be excelling. And I think because y'all did that, especially in the early mid game before like LSH started to crawl back into it a little bit, y'all did a really good job of that. So I think it's really nice to see, especially in PMA LCS where teamfight comps do reign supreme, like 90.
Yeah, they had a PMA LCS Exodia, 100%. Panda was not afraid.
Yeah, like 90 out of 100 games, that comp wins in PMA LCS. 100, like I said 100%, but like 90 out of 100 times that happens. So, like it's
welcome to being to 10%.
Yeah, that definitely was the 10% game, and y'all played it well, and you guys executed your champs well to the point where you could get to that point, especially you and the Volley Bear early. But
anything you would like to have for the audience?
Don't ban Bel'Veth. I'll give you Volibear. Let me play Bel'Veth.
No one wants your Bel'Veth, Syracuse.
Make me sad.
He's
been nerfed like 4 times, and there's only been 2 patches. Like, come on.
We were talking about it in the doing some pregame prep for this, and I was like, we were talking about Bel'Veth, and I was like, it's literally the exact same thing that happens when every Riot champ comes out. Champ comes out, no one knows how to play build properly. Champ's win rate tanks. Riot goes, oh, champ win rate bad. Buff champ.
But they never buffed her.
They did never buff her.
Yeah, time. She's pup stomping low E. She's better Master Yi.
However, people did figure out how to build her properly.
I think my favorite build though is a Bork Rush into Frostfire Gauntlet. That is
Frostfire is disgusting.
That is a fun time
on that champ. But yeah, people figure out how to build her properly, and then now all of a sudden she's really OP. And it happens with like every champ, unless they come out like uber overtuned Cough Cough Aphelios, Cough Cough Samira. But like, yeah, it's like it literally like every time. Like anytime a new champ comes out, I just tell my team.
All right,
I'm like just learn it.
I just also need to know where are my channel points. My 3 channel points for that field goal in game 1.
They're in the mail.
Okay, thank you.
USPS standard.
Yeah, like it was a pretty good field goal because they were so everywhere, but not where I ulted. It was great.
5 to 7 business days.
You know, it be like that sometimes when you're playing the Seraphine, when you're singing Shiny.
Yeah, it was like, I'm just gonna ult flash 3 points, baby. Matt, you got anything? Maye. We got to see Maye in game 1.
We did get to see Maye in game 1.
Real?
No, Maye. That's the good one, if I remember right.
It's not on my name.
Yeah. Laptop mine's bad. Fair, you know, I feel that. Physical and spiritual level do feel that.
And that's going to close it for week 4 of the Salami Lid versus Whittle Shop of Hoagies. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Have a good one. We saw some banger League of Legends. It's all it's all you want.
Thank
you. Is it live?
Yeah, it's still live. Do you
Why
have
are we
any
still
listeners?
live?
Okay, I'll stop it.